Hi everybody, this is Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and I'm sorry about the sound of my chair pulling in. You'll probably hear that a few times. I've had problems with my camera turning off after 11 minutes, so I'm going to check it every once in a while and make sure it's still ready. So this is a journal that I've been working on. I got the pages and the cover together in January, and then I put the lace on the pages and stuff, and I set it aside while I worked on some other journals. And I joined this really cool challenge with a group that DearJulieJulie runs. I had been watching some of her tutorials and they're awesome. And I really recommend joining her group. You can find it on Facebook. I'll link it below. But she has a challenge each month. Gosh, sorry, I have to catch my breath. Okay, she has a challenge each month. And this month, she put out a list of things with one thing from each letter of the alphabet that we needed to include in a journal. And so I decided to do that, and I decided to do it in this journal. So this flip through is going to be a little different because I'm going to be pointing out those things as we get them, because one of the things that we have to do is post our video of what we've done, which is really good because it helps you to kind of practice getting out there and showing your stuff, which is good because that's hard for a lot of us. So this is a music themed journal, and I have little tassels at the bottom, and 2 of these are a bookmark, which I'll be showing, and 2 of them are in the center binding, these bead thingies here. And my closure is just a simple lace piece, ribbon, coffee dyed lace ribbon. Okay, and the cover here has some music on it and a flower. This button is from my husband Bill's collection. There's cheesecloth, coffee stained cheesecloth behind it. I do all my own coffee staining. The button is from Bill's collection. My husband knits, and he's done it for 40 years. He used to knit for designers, and he knits beautiful stuff on vintage hand-operated knitting machines. I'll link his shop below. So you go in, and I love this paper that I used for the inside of the cover. This is a note card. That was one of the requirements. That was N, and I meant to make it into a pocket, but I didn't. I totally forgot. I need something to show pockets here too. I forgot to bring something. I'll find something. Here we go. This. Got a little piece of trash here. Okay, so it's not a pocket, but it flips up and you can write on it. You can write, like if you got this as a gift for somebody, this would be a great place to, you know, write a little note to them. Otherwise, if you're journaling with it yourself, and this doesn't have to be journaling about music, it's just that the theme of the journal itself is about music. But if you're journaling in it yourself, then you might put some notes about where you're starting off or what you're writing about or where you are in life or something. And of course dates would be great. Now, one of the things that I always like to point out about junk journals is that you don't have to write on the pages in order. You can flip through and find whatever page you want and go, oh, this looks like a great place to write for today, and do it, and make sure you date it and stuff. And you can move the things in the pockets around to other pages and stuff. So here's the first page of some piano keys, and you write all over everything in a junk journal. You write on, you know, you could use like white ink to write on the keys here and black ink to write on the rest of it, or you could clip pictures to it, or articles or memorabilia, whatever it is in life that you want to save. That's kind of what junk journals are about, is saving your junk that reminds you of stuff and is meaningful. And so here's some more journaling pages. This is a coffee dyed page that I laid some lace ribbon across when I stained it, and a little picture that I cut out and put on it. And of course there's lace all over, all through. One of the requirements of this challenge was lace, lace, lace in at least 3 places, and I've already got that. And I also have music, 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 which was M. And so I've got a little pocket here, or not a pocket, it's a tuck spot actually, and then a little journaling page. You can write on both sides there, and of course write on the page itself. Okay, now here you can write on this, but I have a letter to whoever the recipient is, whether it's you or you buy it for somebody else. There's a letter here explaining about the challenge and the list so that they can look through and try to find all these things. Now in this video I'm going to show you all the things, but if you were to give it to somebody else, or if you bought this and didn't look at the video again, you would have fun looking for these. I'm going to hold this out right now so that I can use the list to make sure that I show you each of the items. Okay, so we have some music staff paper that you can write on, and a doily, which I always like to put in doilies with a butterfly. Butterflies kind of ended up also being a theme throughout this, and I kind of fussy cut around quite a few of the butterflies. A girl here with a harp and a dove that's real pretty, and some more music with it looks like echinacea. And you know, again, just write over all this stuff or put pictures or whatever, memorabilia. Okay, quilted, a quilt block. This is a 9-patch quilt that I made with papers that I used throughout the journal, and it's a pocket, and it has these 2 little tags in it. This yarn is linen and rayon from Bill's yarn that he uses for making sweaters. Mostly he uses natural fibers, but this is just so pretty, and it has rayon in it. And this is also one of the ombre pieces. I have quite a few throughout. And then you can write on the back, of course. And same thing on here. Write all over it. Just have fun. And if you don't want them here, you can put them someplace else. This pocket actually goes in pretty deep, so you could put in something really long if you wanted to. And some more composition staff paper. Hold on, I just want to check and make sure this is still running. It is. Good. Okay, we're good. All right, another little butterfly with some burlap behind it. And then this this pocket, I was just like checking stitches on my sewing machine because Bill got me a sewing machine when we got married, and I never really had a chance to try it out before I got sick with Lyme. And so, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I was practicing just looking to see what some of these stitches were like. And it's just on 1 layer of fabric, so it kind of puckered, but I thought it looked really cool, so I used it as a pocket. And then this is something I cut out of some junk mail, a catalog that came in the mail, and that was one of the requirements, J, and I backed it with some other paper so that you can journal on it. But it says, "You are amazing, you are special, you are unique, you are loved, be you." I thought that was just very sweet. A nice little reminder. So there's my junk mail. And here's some more of the ombre requirement. And I have a journaling card here with a lady playing a guitar on a piece of dictionary, a page from a dictionary where it has music right there. Okay, so I pulled out that page specifically for this, and you can write over this. You know, you can, if you use a dark ink like I have, this kind of pen, it's a Uniball Signo, and you can write over this with that, and your writing will show it really nicely. So this would be a great journaling card for that, or write in a different color so it shows it. And then we have a flip spot here. This is a fabric flip, and it's made from some gingham that I had that I really liked, and you can flip it up, and then you've got a little, you know, secret place that you can write, and there's a pocket. And this is, where did I have my trash? Here it is. This is a secret hiding place, because you would expect the pocket to be right here, but it's not. It's over here. So that was one of the requirements, was a hidden spot. I think I have another hidden spot in here too, if I remember to show it, because sometimes I forget that they're there. Okay, so then here's another page that you can journal on, and of course this would be really pretty if you used white ink on that. Oh, and all my pages are hand torn, almost all of them. There's a few pages that are not torn, but if they're torn, which most of them are, they're hand torn, which was another requirement with some tearing. And then I've got musical instruments all throughout, and you can write all over this, of course. And then this was just a scene from Cherahela Skyway, which is near us, that I thought was really pretty, and Tennessee's known for its music, so it was just appropriate to put in there. There are some people here playing the piano and playing various instruments. You can just barely see them, and you can, and I've distressed most things as well. And there's, on this, there's some cheesecloth that I've sewn between the layers, so you can You can journal on those. And then I also, from that same music dictionary page, I hope that I'm in where you can see this, I used a fold over piece as a tab that I stapled on to the top of that page. Okay, and then this is, to me, my favorite spread. Julie of Dear Julie Julie came up with this idea that she calls a flip-flop, and I call a Dear Julie Julie flip-flop. And check this out. You've got like so much writing space here. Of course you can write on these pages, okay? But you can flip this open, and you've got all this writing space, and then flip this, you can write back here, and you can write here on the page. And then flip this one open, and more writing space, and just tons of writing space everywhere. I can actually smell these roses. It's kind of weird because there's no fragrance from them. Right on here, open this up, and I've got another flip-flop here. And you can write there, and right in here. So much more writing space than you would ever expect there, right? And then here is a Rita Donnelly flip. It's, you open it up and you can write there, and then it's a little pocket, and there's some writing space here, and of course right on the page behind it. And then Julie had posted this in the group, and I really liked it because it went with the alphabet. Plan A didn't work. The alphabet has 25 more letters. Stay cool. I thought that was cute, so I included that as a pocket. And you've got a little tag here that you can journal all over, and journal all over the page, of course. And some, now this is not coffee stained. This actually came that color of lace ribbon. And then I made a little bag. We had to have some tissue, a tissue element. So that's what I have here, is the tissue in the bag. And I've got a little handle made from twine and a tag in there, a journaling tag, and that goes down. It can go down pretty far. I have it kind of sticking out because I want the ribbon to stick up on the top. Okay, now here's the bookmark. This was from another tutorial that I saw, and I did not write it down. Shoot. I'll try to remember to, I'll look for it and I'll link it if I can find it. But see, it's just, it's very simple. And this gal had, not fibromyalgia, but another really painful thing. And she was making these. She said she was in pain and she was just soldiering through, and I thought that was so cool. But she had a tutorial showing how to do this, and I just loved it because of the simplicity. So you can move this bookmark anywhere you want, and if it dangles down farther than you want, I was thinking it'd be very easy to adjust by just, hold on, let me find the end of it again. It would be very easy to adjust by just tying a knot up here, like I used to always do on the top of my purse handles, whatever, to the shoulder strap, so that it wouldn't hang down so far for me. So you could do that, and that would be kind of pretty, sticking up out of the book, that that little knot up there, if you want. I have them kind of dangling down because I really love dangles. Okay, so there's this little girl playing the violin, very ladylike, right? And you can journal all around her and over her if you want. You can journal on this page. I have some sheet music that I cut apart and distressed, and I sewed to some coffee dyed line paper, so you can journal there. And it seemed like this had something to do with one of the requirements, but I can't remember now. Oh, zigzag stitch. I have zigzag stitch all throughout this because I love zigzag stitch and I use it a lot. Okay, so here's another Rita Donnelly flip. That's a pocket, and you can open it up and you can journal there. Hold on just a second. I just want to check the camera again. Make sure it's still going. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. So good, so good. Okay, so here's my other hidden spot. And by now you can guess probably where that is, but if somebody was just looking through, I don't think that they would find it. This looks like an envelope, but they'll check it out and it'll be, you know, a disappointment. It's not an envelope. It's not a pocket. Oh well, let's just go on. No, magic! There's a hidden pocket right there. Okay, so there's another hidden spot. This is some stationery that I've had for at least 20 years. I'm not really sure when I got it, but I know I got it in California, and I've been out here for 15 years, and I got it like years before I left California. So it shows up on the other side of the signature as well. Here's a side tuck pocket with my ombre element again, and a top pocket. Oh, this is a pair of pockets because that was one of the requirements. That's P. So this again has just mystery, mystic. I guess it wasn't, you know, a particular page, but I made this into another pocket here, so you can put something in there. So it's a pocket within a pocket. And of course, journal everywhere. There's these guys playing their instruments, and some more music paper that you can write on with another musical butterfly and cheesecloth. Here's a coloring page. This was one of the requirements, and you can color this in. It's nice sturdy paper. And then this is a little bit of magic that I learned from a tutorial someplace, and it looks like an envelope, but it's not. It flips up and down, and I sewed coffee stained paper inside of it. So that's what that looks like, and so you can journal in there. And then I have some music with some of Bill's yarn and cheesecloth, and some of the paper that I used throughout this that has purple writing on it, on some staff paper that you can write on. And this is my nod to modernity. Here's a electric piano, electric keyboard, and headphones, and a butterfly, and some coffee stained lined paper for you to write on, and another Rita Donnelly flip. Isn't that pretty with the feathers? So you can open this up and write here, and it's a pocket, lined coffee stained paper, and a tree that has musical notes. So there you go. And just a pretty sunset and some musical paper that would be really easy to write over. Here's a painted piano, which kind of makes me want to kick somebody, but it is kind of pretty. But it would make me mad if somebody did that to my piano. Okay, and then here's Hark Hark, the Dogs Do Bark. So there's some music there that you can write over, and you can write over this music as well. And then the center, I hand sewed the signature into the cover, and it's actually sewn through here, and then I put this paper over the outside, and I put these 2 strips of gold ribbon because I just liked the effect. And Gail Agostinelli, she's the one that I saw doing this with the ties, putting beads on them. I just thought that was very cool, and so I've started doing that too. And I think she said she got the idea from somebody else. This little musical note, I don't know if you can see it. It's upside down, actually, the way I'm holding it. There we go. It's a button from Bill's collection. I cannot imagine what he used that little tiny button on. It had to have been for decoration. And then some lace that's tied into the binding there. I think that was also Gail Agostinelli's idea. Here's some more pages to write on. And I have to also mention, Dear Julie Julie, she is amazing. She does at least 1 tutorial a day, at least during the challenges. And I can't even imagine spending the time doing that. It's just amazing. And she does a really good job, and I've learned so much from her. And from her group, I've learned a lot from the people in the group, and they've just all been, they're very supportive. It's very positive. I totally would recommend that you join her group. Those of you who are my friends and readers and viewers who have been encouraging to junk journal, check out her group. It's seriously so good. And I've not seen one negative thing said or argumentative or anything on there. It's just all been very positive and uplifting and supportive. And I've gone through kind of a little stage of depression, not a little, it's been pretty major depression. And doing this has really helped me, but also the people in that group, because they're so supportive and encouraging. They've just been a wonderful help. They've been amazing. So here's a girl out here in her beautiful dress playing her violin by the lake, which of course you just see all over Tennessee, right? Not really, but you can imagine that. Okay, there's some music on the back of this, and of course you can journal on this card, journal on the page, there's lines, and then another Rita Donnelly flip with some music you can barely see there. Or no, it's not music. It's this, which is another ombre element that you can actually see it through the paper. That's kind of cool. I hadn't noticed that before. And then I've got a belly band here, which is made from my patchwork. I think they call this Franken paper when you take scraps and you put them together with like a zigzag stitch. I love doing that. I do that all the time. And then I've got a little notepad in here made from scraps of paper. I've got coffee dyed paper, some yellow, legal pad paper, a little bit of that stationery that I showed you that's really old, and just all kinds of miscellaneous pieces of paper with some fabric at the top and a little rosette. And by the way, because there are, this one you can take out, but there are a few places where I have buttons and stuff in here. So I will include a piece of cardboard with it that you can stick in between the pages when you write, so that so you have a smooth surface to write on. And then I just loved this picture of these two little boys playing their accordions. I don't know where this is. It is really cute, but I have some of Bill's yarn sewn into it, and it goes into this pocket here, which is another Rita Donnelly flip and another coloring page for you to color. Okay, some more staff paper because, this is a music journal and I wanted you to have plenty of room to write. This one actually is an envelope, so you can put stuff in there. Was it a side envelope? No, it's not. Okay, it's just an envelope. And here's one of Bill's buttons with some twine tied on the top. Coloring page, more staff paper to write on. A beautiful tree. Okay, here's another Dear Julie Julie flip. This is that stationery. This is the other end of that stationery. And then this is from a journal that I actually used as a memorial stone to when we moved out to Tennessee from California. And I had some extra pages, so I tore those out the other day because I thought they would be really pretty in here, and made a flip. And then of course you can journal here. Let's see. So then of course journal here. Now this is a little pocket with music and just a pretty design paper behind it. And then I made this little notebook for you. It's got a button on it and some kind of soft fabric, music notes on the front, and then just a whole bunch of staggered coffee dyed paper scraps that I had, so you can write or journal on those. You can take it out and make it a notebook to, take someplace else, or you can use it for journaling in here. And coffee dyed cheesecloth that I've got like all throughout the journal. I'm not pointing that out every time. Here's another, this is a fake flip. I wanted to use the other half of the square someplace else, so I just glued this down. So you can write here and here, and you can write here. Here's the other part of the bookmark with the beads that I thought was very cool. And then some more music paper and a gal carrying her guitar, which I thought was appropriate because we're coming to the end. Let me just check again and make sure this is still... Wow. Okay. My camera must be working better now. That's great. Okay, I found these postage stamps from, I think they're Denmark, on Pixabay. And so I blew them up and made them into journaling cards. I put a nice, just kind of neutral design on the back, kind of stained looking design on the back. But I thought those were so cool with really old musical, like pianos, harpsichords and stuff. There's a couple more in here too. And then this little page that I tore the corners so that it would fit on here because the tearing here went slightly in. And then I liked this picture, so I tore it out and distressed the edges and everything. And then I put a butterfly on this piece out of a dictionary, and this one has concert on it. Okay, and then of course you can journal up there. There we go. Okay. I love this paper. I think this is so beautiful. So I made this into a pocket. I just had a little piece, so I had to use some washi tape, which I used glue on to hold it down. And then this flower, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like words in it. It's kind of like, it's flat because I printed it, but it's like a word collage kind of thing.